Hey, do you ever wake up and wonder, how did my body get to feeling this way? Maybe you don't feel as good as you did in your 20s or even as a kid. Maybe you just can't do the things that you love to do. Or you can do them, but you suffer. So that takes the juice out of life. My name is Lisa Ponichter, and I am a physical therapist and a Feldenkrais practitioner. And I can relate to the above. I fell down a flight of stairs head over heels when I was a teen. Luckily, I'm alive today, but for many years I had pain, and I had constant pain for a really long time. Traditional physical therapy got me to where I could sit, stand, and walk for about 10 minutes, and then the pain would come back. So it was an improvement, but at that point I was 19 and wanting to be out doing the things I wanted to do, and I loved to dance and I couldn't dance. Doctors told me that because I was in chronic pain, I probably would have pain the rest of my life and that there was nothing more that they could do. Well, I kept searching, and I heard about this method that I had never heard of before, called the Feldenkrais Method. And I noticed that when I started doing it, I became aware of certain parts of my body that I wasn't aware of before. My sitting bones, for example, after my first lesson. And then one day driving home from a lesson, I felt my inner thighs relax. I didn't even know they were tense. You see, what was going on? My body was stuck in trauma mode. It was guarding from the pain. And sometimes people get out of that easily, but if you have pain that stays around, there's something in your movement habits and patterns that's keeping you in that guarded state. So with the Feldenkrais method, we started playing with movement patterns that were gentle, that did not push me into pain, and I was able to eventually become pain-free. I have no pain, and I was able to get into a salsa dance troupe, which brought so much joy to my life when you're able to do the things that you love. So after I got better, it was actually while I was still in physical therapy school, and I saw that, wow, this thing called the Feldenkrais method got me above and beyond what traditional therapy could do. So I knew I had to go back for the 4-year Feldenkrais training program, in addition to what I had just finished, the 6 years for physical therapy school, because I wanted to be able to share that gift. And over the past 19 years, I've helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people unlock their bodies from pain patterns and get back into the joy of what they love. And I'd like to help you. Feeling delicious in one's body can be a strange concept in this no pain, no gain world, and go, go, go. We don't often think of how does it feel to really move in ways that feel pleasurable. And this method is done in one of two ways. There's hands-on. Of course, during this quarantine time, I'm not doing the hands-on session or group classes in person, but I am doing both individual sessions and group classes on Zoom. There's a lot that can be done that way. We can tailor a session specifically to your movement needs if we do an individual session. And these methods really connect you with whole body motion, which does something really nice to your nervous system. It's calming, and a lot of the movements are similar to what babies do when they're learning to move. You don't ever see a baby with tight, tense muscles unless they have some type of brain injury or condition. So doing these movements that involve the whole body, we're playing outside of habit, not pushing into pain. We actually get the brain to go off of defense mode so that the brain can send the messages to the muscles through the nerves and give different signals so that tight muscles can actually release and muscles that aren't doing anything can step up to the plate, which is different in comparison to traditional therapy where you might be trying to strengthen weak muscles, but if there are muscles on the other side that don't know how to let go, for example, like my inner thighs when I had the fall down the flight of stairs, they didn't know how to let go. And this method just brings out the bony awareness, the skeletal connections, so that your brain's brilliance can reorganize how you use your body in a way that is going to give you more pleasure, more energy at the end of the day, and being able to do what you love. Other benefits that this method has when people either leave a group session or an individual session, typically they feel more grounded, more flexible and fluid. And there's typically a sense of relaxation, although you may feel energized, because we're shifting outside of your normal way of being and you're standing different. A lot of times people feel that they have improved posture without the effort, which is a really nice side benefit. And again, you get into that delicious type of feeling, besides it being really, I find, truly relaxing and de-stressing, especially with what's going on in the world today. Before I go on my daily walk, I do some of these movements just so I can feel those connections, and then I luxuriate in those connections of what I feel in my body as I go enjoy my walk. What else? So this work is about creating the environment. You might have tried the environment where change can occur, and you might have tried everything under the sun. A lot of people tell me, hey, I have tried everything under the sun, and this method should be more well known. Well, that's part of my mission. But the reason that we create that environment is because we don't push into pain. It's not pushing till you get more tension and then the guarding goes off in the brain and then it says, nope, we got to tighten everything. So it actually works with your body, following your body's signals. And I like to say what we do is we play with the patterns outside your habit until the pattern of pain melts away. And this can even help long-standing pain. I was in chronic back pain for years when I found this method, and it gave me my life back. But even longer standing pain, and this one gentleman was in his 60s, mid to late 60s when he first came to see me, and he started limping and having pain when he was 16 years old. We were able to transform that, and not only did his pain go away, the limp went away, and he was able to actually walk on the golf course with his friends versus having to be in that golf cart. So amazing things can happen when we talk to the brain because the brain controls the body. So that's really what I'd like to share with you. And it takes some time. It's not something you do in 2 seconds, but it's a learning method that helps you become more aware of what you're doing with your body. And we get into, instead of no pain, no gain, we get into listening to the natural pacing. And are you breathing with the painful area until we get it feeling really good? Because a lot of times we unconsciously hold our breath and we're not even aware of that. And then we get to step into less pain and more gain. So there are, like I said, the 2 ways that I can work with people, and I'm offering those on Zoom. The scheduling link is below, and the time is now. The time is now because a lot of us have more time. to work on ourselves. And if you're in pain, I invite you to click on that link. If we keep doing what we've always done, we'll keep getting what we've always gotten. And I had no clue what this weird sounding method was when I first heard of it. But it gave me my life back. And I'd be honored to be able to help you get more ease in your life, less tension, less stress, feel better doing those things that you love. Again, because that's where the juice of life is. Now, Feldenkrais himself, he healed himself of knee pain. He would have debilitating knee pain for weeks on end where he couldn't even get out of bed. And doctors said, we can do surgery, but it's no guarantee that it's going to help. So he said, phooey with the surgery, and he decided to work with what he knew about anatomy and physiology, the brain and the body. He was a judo master. He also was a physicist and an engineer, so he had a very methodical mindset. And he just started playing with the relationship between the knee and the foot, and the knee and the hip, and how that connected to the rest of the body. And he not only was able to learn how to walk again with no pain, he found that it improved his whole being. And then he was gracious enough to share that method with us. And I am truly blessed to be able to share that method. And in the past 19 years, I've helped hundreds and hundreds of people feel better in their bodies. And I'd love to help you. So again, if time is an issue and you are one of the people working, even more of a reason to set aside the self-care time. I always give people the example of a dog or a cat that's been lying for a while. They stretch. There's even the downward dog in yoga. They stretch before they move. We have to give ourselves the self-care time. And as you feel better and better, that time doesn't have to be as much, but give yourself the gift of that time. And my gift to you guys, if you are new, there's a special on the group classes for $10 for your first group class. And the individual sessions, if you decide to have one of those, it's $30 off what I normally charge for a full evaluation and treatment. So that's a savings I'd like to offer at this time. And it's the time is now. And if you're having pain, there's a reason you're listening to this. You might be doing things every day for your work where you might be stuck in a certain position, or perhaps you had an injury like myself where your body is not doing what you want it to do. Perhaps you want to be able to do the movements that you do every day. Maybe you play a musical instrument and there's just a few bones or pieces that can come into your awareness through this method that's going to change everything so that you utilize your body the way it was meant to be. Like if you look at little kids, they are beautiful movement teachers and they're using their whole self. And I give the example a lot of a little kid with a sippy cup. When imagine a 2-year-old with their sippy cup, they tip their head back, their belly comes out, their whole back is engaged. And then if we have neck pain, we're sipping our coffee and the only movement is right here. So with this work, we learn how to distribute the load so that your whole self can feel better. And no matter where your pain is, we can problem solve and play with movements and find how to use the brain's brilliance to reorganize what you're doing with your body so you can get back to the joy of what you love. And I'd love to do that for you at this time. See you soon. You can find me scheduling link below and also my website, awakeningmovements.com or lisaponichter.com. And that info will also be below.